Hi everyone, welcome back. In this exercise, we're going to learn how to take our small FrameCAD ADU project and export it from FrameCAD Structure to Detailer to begin detailing connections. This is the final step just before manufacturing the panels, bringing the panels to the job site and installing it on top of your foundation. Let's begin. The first thing we're going to do is do a little bit of file cleanup. So go ahead and open up your FrameCAD Structure file, double click on that middle wheel button to view all of your borders. We're going to select the reference points and polylines in borders number 3 and 4, and if you have them in 5 and 6, go ahead and select those as well. When I make big selection windows, I like to make them way outside of the boundary of where I'm going to select. So if I want to delete this polyline and this reference point, I'm going to click way over here and way over here. Okay. When you go from left to right like this, everything that's fully encompassed by that selection window will be selected, but nothing that's simply intersecting that selection window will be selected. So I'm going to delete that. And again, going from left to right, but going from bottom to top this time, I'm going to delete all that. Then I want to take care of these two reference points as well, and I'm going to delete them now. Let's quick navigate to border number 2, V-enter to enter. We're going to type in MV for move view. We're going to select all the trusses, the reference point, the support line, roof lines, the truss design summary in the top left corner. We're going to make a big selection window. So I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to click way over here, and I'm going to click way over here. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to put it on border number 3. So 1, 2, 3 is right here. Click once, and everything will move over. Now let's type in bset. Bset. Originally, I had you create 6 borders. Typically, we'll do 6 to 10 different borders, depending on the complexity of the project. If this was a 2-story house, we might need to use all 6 or all 8 borders because we want to do the first floor walls and then the trusses of the roof above that, and then the floor system above the walls, and then the walls above that floor system, and then the roof truss system above that, and so on and so forth. So we like to separate all of our different panel types on different borders. In this case, I've got a simple little ADU. It's a single story. I actually don't need all 6 of these borders. So I'm going to change this quantity from 6 to 3. And for row, I just want to display it on one row, 17 by 11, BR FrameCAD. That's my default border. If you have a custom one, like this BR OCC border, feel free to use that. I'm using 1/4 inch scale for this project and 6 inches for the text height. Let's click Insert. All right. So now instead of 6 borders, I have 3 all organized into one row. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to add my 3D model, an image of my 3D model right here in border number 3. So let's quick navigate to border number 3. I'm going to navigate over here to this View tab in this ribbon and find Viewports. Click on this drop-down menu, click one viewport, zoom out just a little bit. Here in the command line, it's asking for the first corner. I'm going to select this endpoint here and click it. And then the opposite corner is going to be right here. Find that endpoint and click it. And now I've got a 3D model in this border. So now I can actually double click outside of this area to ensure that I'm here in this model space. However, if I wanted to come into this 3D space, I would need to double click here. So I'm going to double click now. Now I'm in this 3D space. I can use my view cube to rotate it all around, pick what angle I want to show off. Maybe I want to come a little bit lower. Maybe I want to come right at it. Maybe I want to come from the top. And I think I like it like that. I can also change the visual style here to realistic or to hidden or conceptual. And I'll leave it at realistic. And then to get out of this view, you want to carefully move your cursor to the far right so it's outside of that window. Double click, and now you're back here in this layout space. All right, it's time to start exporting. I'm going to double click on my middle wheel button so I can see what it is that I'm exporting. File, Exports, PDF export. Make sure you select all. We're going to click on Browse, and I want you to choose a location of where this PDF is going to go. So make sure you save it somewhere where you can find it again later. I'm going to go ahead and put it under this PC, under my Google Drive, OCC 2025, Fall 2025, Intro to FrameCAD, Lectures. I click, should I make a new folder? Yeah, let's make a new folder. I'm going to call this PDF. And then I'm going to open that folder and click OK. All right, so that's where I'm going to be saving it. Go ahead and click OK. Give Structure a little bit of time to create that PDF. Once it does it, it'll pop up with this little balloon. Make sure you click on this little open button so you can open the PDF immediately. If this balloon closes and you have no idea how to get it back, you should know exactly where you saved that PDF because you chose that location. So let's go to my File Explorer. I'm going to go to my Google Drive, OCC 2025, Fall 104, Lectures, PDF. And here are my 3 PDFs. Let's go ahead and open them up, see what they are. Click on this one. This is my floor plan. These are my walls with all of my openings labeled on them. These are my trusses. And then there's my 3D view. Okay, that 3D view is not looking that great because it did it as a black and white image. So let's go back and let's see if I can do this again. But File, Exports, PDF. All right, it's set to black and white. That's the reason. Dare I try layout plot style? Yes, I do. Oops, did that wrong. Select all this time. Layout plot style. Okay. Oh, probably close this PDF. All right, let's navigate back here. Hit reload. Go to layouts. That's weird. It's still black and white, and yeah, that's not right. Let's go back. File, Exports, PDF export. Select all. Grayscale. We might have to go grayscale on this or change the way this looks. So let's do this. Let's just play around. What have we got to lose? We have all kinds of digital paper to use. Okay, that looks okay. That looks okay. And that looks okay. Not great, but might be the best we can do. Let's double click here. Let's change my visual style. Let's try hidden. I think hidden might be the best bet. All right, let's try this. File, Exports, PDF. Select all. Let's do it grayscale. Click OK. And let's go find that file. This looks good. This looks good. That looks okay. I mean, it's not the best out of all this options. Kind of weird how some of it's gray, some of it's black, but whatever. Looks good enough to me. I mean, it looks cool. It's got a whole 3D file here. So let's leave that as it is. So this is how you print out these drawings, right? This is the floor plan to scale. This is, these are the actual borders we've been working in FrameCAD Structure, and now they're digital pieces of paper. And if I hit print and send it to my printer here, they'll be physical pieces of paper. So let's now go to do our next export. Actually, let's open up the other files. Let's go to truss. These are going to be all of my different detailed trusses. I can directly import these into my construction document set, so I can get a permit from the city or state or whoever needs to approve my project. It's got all the engineering here and materials and what gauge of steel I'm using, distances. Okay, here are all of my different walls. Okay, again, I can import this into my construction document set if my local municipality needs me to show this. All right, the next export we're going to go and do is under File, Exports, ACNC Export All. Okay, and it says now CNC is complete. 2 notifications. I'm going to click on View. And the notifications from today are these 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. These two talk about the PDF, while these two talk about the newly added ACNC. So what is ACNC? Let's go ahead and open up this folder. Okay, so here it is. This is the documents. This is a folder called CNC under the documents folder. And what I have here, if I hit reload and make sure it's date modified, is I have my trusses and my walls here. Okay, so what can I do with these two files? Well, first thing is you just don't want to open these files. Don't try to double click it. Leave them as they be. We're actually going to import these later on into FrameCAD Detailer. So just understand that when you do File, Exports, ACNC All, it's always going to default to coming to this very specific file path. So make sure you write that down. It's the CNC folder under Documents. Okay, and we need that file for Detailer. So let's launch FrameCAD Detailer. If this is your first time using Detailer, make sure you go to the Help drop-down menu, License Information, and Show License Information Online, and make sure you fill this stuff out. Go ahead and use your school email and choose Orange Coast College when that pops up. You should have already received this information from me at the beginning of the class. And once you've gotten all those credentials taken care of, sign in and agree to the software license agreement. All right, so here I am in FrameCAD Detailer. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is we're going to edit our defaults and global settings. So I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Options. The CAD tab is where you can configure your CAD environment, such as the background, the color, crosshair sizes, fence settings, and elevation profile offsets. In the General tab, this is where you can configure the general settings, such as directories used for Excel templates, user scripts, custom logos. To use a custom logo, you want to point this directory here to where your custom company logo is stored, then tick on the Use Custom Logo option in the printing options here. Okay, we have other options here as well. I go over it a little bit more into detail in the handout. I'll skip it for now. Units are right here. Typically, if we need to create our machine setup, which is the language and the section dimensions for our machine that we have purchased, we will make all of those changes and additions using metric units. But when we do our projects, we will always use imperial, and we have it set to a precision of 1/32 of an inch. VRML just has to do with the 3D preview. Fonts is where all of our different fonts are for different different displays and dialog boxes. So this is the one for plan, this is the one for our build elevations, this is the one for feature, and then this is just the general one here in the application itself, your own user interface. And then stick defaults. This is just where all of the small little abbreviations for every stick type. It's all right here in this dialog box. You can change it if you want, but these are the defaults here from FrameCAD. So I'm not going to touch any of those. Let's click OK. Here in Detailer, the layout of the land is that up here is going to be our menu bar, which will have drop-down menus. We have our toolbar. This is where most of our tools will live with little icons, and you'll have to get used to those different icons. This is called the project tree. This allows us to navigate through our project, through various plans, through various elevations. And then this page is actually the project information page, showing you exactly how much weight your project has, how many studs and fasteners. This detailer typically will open up the last detailer file that you used, which in this instance is Cut Hill 02, which has nothing to do with the project in this class. Let's go to the modeling environment. I'm going to go ahead and start a new file just to show you. Okay, if I right click this one, that thing in the project tree, this is the project itself. And this is the project name. Okay, I'm going to put OCC 001. Okay, there's the project. The name of that project is right here. I need to click a new plan, and I'm going to go to properties. This is a plan. Okay, and then here in my plan view, I can start. This is my modeling environment. I just use my menu bar to choose the place frame command icon button to create panels or frames. Got my command line down here. Okay, and as I input these things here in my project tree, it's starting to grow. I have an internal wall number 1 and an internal wall number 2, all listed right here in my project tree. If you go to Edit, Machine Setups, it's highly likely that you will have a demo machine setup. If you do, you're going to want to go ahead and select that demo machine setup and click on Delete, because we don't want to use that demo one. I'm going to supply you with what's called a setups file. So here in FrameCAD, here in Canvas, I've got the setup file right here. If Canvas is set up differently, I might have this in a different location, or I might warn you in class, but generally for at least this year, the machine setup file is right here. You're going to click it and download it and store it somewhere where you'll be able to find it later. So let's go and click it and download it. Let it drop into our downloads folder. I'm going to click on this little icon here to navigate to that downloads folder. Here it is right here. It is a SUPS file. Do not double click this file. Do not try to open this file. Instead, put this file somewhere where you can find it again later, because this is a really important file and you're going to need it for this next step. Let's go back to Detailer. I'm going to go ahead and delete both of those machine setups. I'm going to actually delete these as well. And then go back to machine setups. Let's delete all this. Okay, I'm starting brand new and fresh. So let's go ahead and create a new one. Oops, actually, I don't want to create a new one. I click OK. Instead, what you're going to do with that setups file is go to File, Import, Machine Setups. Make sure you've deleted any machines that you had in there, just like I just did. Edit, Machine Setups. Make sure this is all empty. Make sure you've deleted it. Unless you have a machine set up for another one of my classes and I've specifically asked you to keep it. If you don't, or if you've already imported the OCC machine setup, go and leave it there. But if you see anything else, such as demo machine setup, go and delete it. We don't need it. We're going to go to File, we're going to go to Import, we're going to go to Frame Types, Machine Setups, and Steel Setups. We're going to locate that file that we just downloaded, and that's it. That's how you use a SUPS file. If I go to my machine setups now, I've got my machine here. I've got all of my different sections. So basically what happens is someone at the office, a FrameCAD company, will be the trusted employee to set up the machine. So we'll have the machine in the factory, and then somebody will set it up so that way it can be used here in Detailer. These are all of our different section shapes. And some of these have different gauge of material. Some of them have different properties. These three are S-shaped, while these three are unlipped or U shapes. And they all have their different parameters. So the head person at the factory usually will set up this machine setup, set up all the tools. These are all the different tools that are fitted on our machine. These are all of the available tools that FrameCAD has available, but these are the actual ones loaded up on my machine. I can't use any tools that are not loaded on my machine, especially if I have the smallest machine that FrameCAD offers. It's not going to have all of these options. These are the different tool lengths, other general settings, clearances, and boxing. All that is right here. This is the machine model, F325IT. So just go ahead and import that machine setup file, and all of this will automatically populate for you. I'm going to click OK. Let's also check our frame types. We have no frame types here, so I'm going to have to create new frame types. If you don't see any frame types here, you're going to have to create the new ones. If you already have frame types because you've downloaded this subs file or you've created your own subs file in one of my other classes, go ahead and leave them alone. I'm just going to click Create New Frame Type, External Wall. Make sure I choose the right machine. Let's create a new frame type. This one will be Internal Wall. Let's create a new frame type, and this will be Truss. This will be Joist, Miscellaneous, Ceiling Panel, Roof, Floor. All right, got all of the different frame types that I can create with my machine. If you've already gone through this process before, don't go through it again. If you worked at a business and they have two different FrameCAD machines, you'd have to have two different ceiling panels. One that is has a default machine setup for the F325IT, and then another ceiling panel that maybe has a default machine setup for the other machine. So this is why we need to manage all of our frame types here. Once you have all of these different frame types, go ahead and click OK. Now let's go ahead and import our XML file. File, Import XML file. My machine setup should be the F325IT, which is from that subs file that I gave you all. Click on Add. And we're going to navigate to where we saved the XML file, which is going to be the CNC folder, which is under Documents, CNC, and it's these two right here. So we're going to select both of them and click Open. We're going to create a new project as we import these items, and I'm going to click Import. It says explicit tools used in the job are not found. Fitted, web hole. Just go ahead and click Ignore. It's going to ask me if I want to save this file back here. I don't. Okay. Click OK. Click OK. And now we have our FrameCAD structure file here in Detailer. We have our trusses and we have our walls. We expand these two in our project tree. We'll get a list of every single wall. If we double click any of these walls, we'll get to see it in elevation. From here, I can make some adjustments to it. I can delete studs. I can copy studs from one place to another. I can delete service holes. I can import new service holes. So if I click this drop-down menu, I'll go to a long service hole, place explicit operation. My start coordinate is here, end coordinate is there. Okay, now I have service holes on every single one of these studs. Okay. I'm going to hit undo because I don't really want to make those changes. But this is where I can now really finesse exactly how everything looks and feels in this project. I can close that. If there are no changes to make, we can go ahead and simply get started with finalizing this project. The first thing we'll do is create a report. So File, Print Reports, select all, print, click OK. We're going to make a PDF, so I'm going to click OK. Navigate to this window here. Make sure that you save this file somewhere where you'll see it again later. Put it under a folder called Reports and click Save. This report is really valuable because it takes every different frame type that we have and it tells me exactly how much this is all going to weigh. So for a project like this, including the walls and the trusses, it's going to be 5,072 pounds. If I navigate to this, I have a Google Sheet that I created. And in my little sheet, I've allocated for how much I've spent on steel coils in the latest purchase, which means I can come over here and I can start to fill this out. You don't have to do this at all. In fact, you don't have this file, so you can't do this. I'm going to call this this is actually the Laurel ADU. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this right in here, and this project is going to cost $6,870.02 just in raw materials. Okay. So that's only accounting for the materials, which include just the studs, but this is also telling us exactly how many fasteners we're going to use. If I scroll through this report, it starts to break it down by trusses and by walls. So lots of valuable information in here. Okay, so this is about a $6,000 project. I'm going to go ahead and close this. That doesn't account for my services, design services, maintenance on the machine, usage of the machine, printing, assembly, installation. That price is just the raw materials alone. All right, the next thing we want to do is we're going to print the drawings. So I'm going to close this box, File, Print Drawings, select all, print, and then I'm going to create a new folder called Print Drawings. And I put it right there. All right. And here are the drawings. These are the roofs, roof trusses. Okay, I'm scrolling through every single page. There are 49 pages. And basically what I can do is I can print this out now. And I can show this to my crew. After I print every single one of these studs, each one would be labeled, right? Each one's going to say the specific number, T1. It'll say what wall it is from, which is L4. It'll say what project it's from, which is all of this. All that information will be on every single stick. So once I print out all the sticks of one wall, I'll cluster them all together, and then I'll assemble that whole entire wall. Then I'll print another one and do the same thing and rinse and repeat. But this acts as a guide and a reference for my assemblers to understand which way these studs are facing, what their names are, where the service holes are, and what piece connects with what other piece. I'm going to close this. And then lastly, I'm going to close this box. We're going to create the file that we need to go and print this on the machine. File, file, export, roll former RFY, select all, export, and I'm going to put it in its own folder. All right. Once this is done, I can put this file on a flash drive. And don't try to open it. Don't open this file. Put it on a flash drive, walk it over to the FrameCAD machine, and pretty much hit print. That's what that does. All right. That's the small FrameCAD ADU project in Detailer, taking it from structure to Detailer. For this assignment, you're going to need to screenshot this plan view, which if I collapse these two, make sure you click on walls and screenshot this. You're going to click on truss point 1 and screenshot that. And that's it for this assignment. All right. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And thank you very much. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.